Alright, so look at my depth chart and you'll see how I have it set up. So right now I have Steve Smith at 1, Marlon Brown at 2. Although in the Madden update they have Kamar Aiken at 2 at 73 overall, over 75 overall, but that's besides the point. I mean, if you look at, I have Rashard Perryman at number 3 and then Darren Waller at number 4. Just trying to get them in the top 4 receiver slots so I can give them a chance to give them the ball. So what I'll do is go back out and just kind of show you what I mean by not being able to get them into the game. So if you go to formation, and let's say if I go to shotgun and go to, let's see if there's anything with a 4 receiver set. No, actually let's go to a 3 receiver set. So here's the 3 receiver set. As you see, number 18 is Pyramid. So it shows, if you look on the bottom, right under the Wildcat selection, that you can wide receiver flip it, wide receiver 1 slot, 2 slot, HB slot, wide out with the HB fullback sub. So I mean that's cool just with the offense that I run. I like doing all that stuff, but you can't bring my 4th receiver, which is Waller, onto the field. So it's like he's sitting the bench even though I want him to be a top 2, top 3 receiver. Or let's say even if you go to a 2 receiver set or something like that out of I formation, if you go through the packages, dual threat, jumbo backfield, wide receiver swap, and all that's doing is just swapping the strong side to the weak side. So I mean you got Steve Smith, which is quote unquote the strong receiver, going to the opposite side, so he's going against your number 2 corner. If you go to the spell back, I mean it's just your backup running back that'll come in and spell my starter. But I mean you can even sub in your backup quarterback for any of the formations. So but you can't sub a benched receiver into the starting role. Like I said, I mean I have a number 1, should I say a first round rookie that can't even get into the game or make an impact on the game in a 2 receiver slot or a 2 receiver formation because of the rule. So it's just I just wish you guys would make an exception to this because it's frustrating that I can't use. I mean, honestly, my best receiver, even though he's rated at like a 74, 5 or something like that, because there's somebody else that's rated higher than him. And I mean, even with Darren Waller, I mean, I want to use him as a situational threat as a 3rd receiver, but I can't even do that because I have Perryman there, and Perryman's taking that. So it's like I can't use my team the way that I want to use them. And it's not like I'm putting my running back in the spot of a wide receiver. And there's even a formation for that where you can put your running back at the formation. Let's say if you're trying to do like a 3 receiver set, but there's no way to put in a benched receiver, so I can't put Perryman in a 2 wide receiver set because of the rule, and I can't put Waller in a 3 wide receiver set because of the rule, and I can't put Waller, of course, in a 2 wide receiver set because of the rule, and it's just not going to let me to do that. So, I mean, honestly, I just feel like there should definitely be a leeway in that. Heck, I'm not even asking to put Steve Smith in the slot. I'll bench him, but I have 2 really big receivers that are really athletic, and I can't use them. So, excuse my boys in the background, but yeah. So hopefully, there's something we can do. I mean, I've showed you guys some proof. I mean, I think I've made a pretty good case. And there's other people in the league too, such as the Miami Dolphins, who have Kenny Stills, who got traded from New Orleans, and he's a really athletic receiver that can't be used in a 3 wide receiver set or 2 wide receiver set because of the rule as well, because they have 3 wide receivers that are rated higher than them. So, I mean, you can't use your talent unless you trade, and then we've been taking, you guys told us that we can't release players now, and I was almost willing to release Steve Smith, who I want to keep, in order to use my 2 receivers that have more upside, and I can't even do that now. So, I mean, there's got to be something, some kind of give on this rule, because I'm stuck with using the Ravens, and the Ravens aren't a bad team, but I didn't select them. It was just whatever was left. And at the same time, it's like I'm stuck with using Steve Smith on the field 90% of the time, when he's not tired, or I'm stuck with using Marlon Brown on the field 90% of the time when he's not tired. So it's like, man, there's so much talent behind those receivers that I want to use, but I can't do it. So hopefully, I just got done showing you guys enough proof to hopefully overturn this, and so you can make exceptions for certain cases, or even just, like I said, take away the rule, because I mean, it's not like the NFL doesn't do it. The NFL does it. The NFL does it. Look at Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne Bowe on the Kansas City Chiefs was the #1 receiver, but when he gets traded to the Browns, he can't even crack the top 3 receiving core. But his rating on the Madden, I think, was like 82, 83, and he's the best receiver on the team. But on Madden Update, on the depth chart, he's sitting like number 4 or number 5. And you've got receivers at like 73, 74 who are starting over him. So, like I said, I mean, it's a great sim league, but I feel like that part is flawed a little bit, just because it's not following true NFL, and it's not to exploit the game by using a more athletic receiver that has more upside. It's just what happens in real life. So, I mean, it's performance based, and there's no way to actually increase their ratings and get them better. Excuse me. Hey, calm down. Come down. Come down, buddy. And there's no way to actually increase their ratings if you don't use them, unless you're just putting the XP, points into them each and every week, which will take forever. I mean, if you're just doing it per one receiver, I did the math. If you're just doing it on one player, I did the math, and it's like 350 XP per week, which is not going to do much at all. I mean, it'll accumulate, but it's not going to do much at all for that whole season if they're not being used. So please hear me out, and please just make some kind of exception, or even just abolish the rule, because like I said, true NFL doesn't do that. The talented player with the doesn't always get the first 2 slots. You know what I mean? So like, it's always the upside, or whoever feels like that player fits that system better. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is. But all right, man. Peace.